I'm going to read you a question from Dundrum Light. Would you say a little bit more about a topic Saus touched on about the link between F2 and the pharyngeal space? Put the brightness in the back as you mentioned it, as an acoustic event or an idea for teaching. And I've also been saying to a few clients, do the tuning back there. What can you elaborate on that for Dunlerin?
Great question and fascinating. And Wolfgang turned my head upside down about that 4 or 5 years ago when I first had a conversation with him. Here's why: because we universally perceive bright to be forward and dark to be back, everybody, as far as I know, assumed, as I did, that F1, the lower resonance, was pharyngeal and the higher resonance was oral. Like I've got this lower resonator here for F1 and this higher resonator here for F2. So I was having a conversation with Wolfgang and I said, so, I realized that actually, and he knows this too, the whole tubing is involved in tuning of all of the resonances because they're sound waves that are being reflected and building up power through the entire resonator. But changing the shape or dimension of parts of the resonator moves them around. But anyway, I was telling Wolfgang, so I sort of feel my F1, my darker one here and my brighter one there. And he says, oh no, it's just the opposite. And I go, what? So anyway, thank you, Wolfgang. You saved my life there. Anyway, I was depressed for 2 days getting over that. But I finally began to think because the Italian teachers, the old Italians would say the vowels are formed in the pharynx. And I said, what? Yes, the pharynx is the mouth of the voice. Well, most vowels get their identity from the higher formant, the second formant, the second resonance. And they were apparently perceiving that pharyngeally. So I put that together with Wolfgang's comment and I started playing with it. Here, I will just prove it to you because this is the simplest way to do it. I'm going to take an E vowel. There's my E pitch. I think you can hear it fine. Now, notice I'm going to open my mouth to modify that E vowel for a high note on an E vowel. Using the caudo-scoto whisper, I'm going to model it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to retain the auditory target of that pitch and that E color. That's my second formant. I'm going to ridiculously open my mouth, but try to keep that same auditory target. I'm going to try to keep my neck relaxed. So I'm not going to try to work back there. I'm going to back it up a little bit. Are you still hearing that? I'm going to speak through that shape to show you what the heck that sounds like in speech level. What the heck is that? That's the correct modification for an E vowel on a high note. That's what that is. And how do I know? I kept my auditory target of my second formant. Now, if the second formant were being predominantly tuned by my mouth, it should have changed pitch big time because I changed the shape of my mouth big time. But I kept my tongue dorsum, the hump of the tongue, close to the roof of my mouth, and I kept my pharynx approximately the same. That's how I kept that E tuned that way. So, according to Wolfgang, and I agree with him now that I understand that, I'm predominantly tuning that second formant with my pharynx. Even though I acknowledge that the sound wave is traveling through the whole resonator, the shaping of my pharynx is dominating the tuning of that second formant to keep that pitch there, that auditory target. I can do that with an A vowel. A, A, A. That is the sort of blended undervowel color of the complementary color of an A vowel for a high note for a treble voice. I don't actually have to do that modification because my A resonance is on a high C and I don't sing that high very often. So I don't have to modify that one. But a treble
And
voice, if you're a treble voice and you sing above C5, you would begin to open that way for the A vowel. Same with the So uh, 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 uh. That would be your modification for a high note or an air vowel in classical land. Now, if you're in CCM land and you want it to sound more speechy, try to find a way to prioritize the over vowel, which is the color of the vowel that's in the word, more but still trying to stay very relaxed in the neck. So let's take whatever. So take the A vowel. I'm gonna really a, but I'm still prioritizing that. That's going to be a brighter kind of an A, but I'm using that counterscotal whisper to model it. The counterscotal whisper for the target of the A and comfort this easy. If you do this whisper and you feel stressed afterwards, you were cheating towards the typical whisper. That one's going to dry and tire you. That one actually feels like a massage. That one feels good. I
So
found
by using this light, relaxed chiaroscuro optimal whisper, you're able to find and train these sorry,
these shapes of
the shapes of the vowels as you're going higher,
yep,
and so you then find actually what the vowel modifies to naturally
yep,
to create the illusion of it being the right vowel.
right, right. And another benefit of the counterscotal whisper is it's a very to do it. For example, if I'm doing an E, say I do an E up my range, uh, or I can use affect, that sort of warm pathos. I'm using a steady airflow, or if I'm doing a song, whatever the song would be. Um, I don't know. In my land, I'd choose a classical song that I know. uh, Rehearsing the steadiness of that airflow is going to align with the steady flow that I want when I actually sing it, so that I don't do wah 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 wah. I get a so I can rehearse affect, I can rehearse flow, I can rehearse timbre, I can rehearse everything but the actually phonated pitches. I can imagine those and audiate them while I do it. I could think, I can imagine that part, even though I'm not doing it. And as I go higher, I'm going to imagine more of the because I know it's going to migrate there. La, la, as opposed to the la, shiri, skaldar.
I've actually been in rehearsals. I've done a lot of stage shows and opera musical, and especially in the opera where, you're singing basically all day long in rehearsals. A lot of professional colleagues would mark so this in this manner or similarly. And I had one colleague, he marked, I think, like 5 weeks of the rehearsal, and I was really wondering, can this guy even sing? And then he at the end, when we finally got on stage, he was singing. It was brilliant. So there's a lot of great things you can do with this. Thanks for explaining how singers can apply that.